Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another weekend review episode live stream of Bobby Likes Loves Watches. Hey, that was an old intro. I haven't played that intro in a really long time, I feel. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well this and had a great week. It was a busy week on my end over here, putting out some videos on a daily basis. I've put out some of those news videos every day, and hope you guys find some value in them and you like them because I'll keep on doing it 'cause I like doing. I am committing a faux pas of the biggest form, right? I mean, I don't have a watch on wrist. I don't. I got home after getting the kids from aftercare. Help with dinner, help give my daughter a bath and whatnot, and I forgot to put my watch back on. So yikes! Don't take it again. Don't hold it against me. But it happens, right? It happens. Don't worry. I'll put a watch on tomorrow, and we'll start all over again, right? Anyway, um, let's say hello. Not many people on the chat. I mean, this is not, I'm starting this Friday thing again, so it's probably not caught on as much, but I'll say hello to, hey, Rich, Mitch. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. So, I'm gonna go right ahead and jump right into the week that was. When was Sunday? Was that the 31st? No, that was the second. So starting the second and going through to today, and we'll talk about the releases. Oh, we got some people popping in there. Underachieving Watch Collector. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Jeffrey O'Neill. Good to see you. Bill K is here. What's going on? Hey, Wilson. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming tonight. Okay, let's talk about releases. And the first one we're going to come up here. Zenith and Revolution Chronomaster Revival. Revolution Watch, we know Waco's company there, you know, um, collaborating with Zenith. And interesting piece. I got to be honest, I'm not crazy about it. This is like a carbon case and a carbon bracelet, and even like a carbon dial. This is the, what do they call this? The cover girl version of this watch. Yeah, I got to be careful what I say because Waco, he's a bad man, you know. So I don't want to insult the timepiece, and it's not. There's nothing to insult. It's just like it's not my favorite. We see these with these Revolution collabs. Most of them, you have this like um, you know black case, black strap, very stealthy looking timepieces. I'm thinking Zen, right? The Zen releases that they've had in the past, and some other pieces. So this is like kind of like a trademark here for them. This darkish kind of case. Hey, what's up, Caliber? How you doing? Good to see you. And James is here. Good to see you, James. And look, I mean, like, uh, you either like the case shape or you don't. I like the case shape on this. Was it the A386? That's another model. I mean, I like that this vintage case shape with the El Primero movement. It might be actually my favorite case shape with the El Primero movement. There's a like a panda version of it that looks just awesome, and I think maybe our buddy Thomas Burnett has one. But yeah, just I mean, like, not a really big fan of that bracelet. But here's the crazy part, right? Um, it's limited, right? It's limited to 150 pieces with a strap, 12 over 12 grand with the strap, over 27 with the bracelet. Like that's more than double the price, right? That's like almost $15,000 more than without the strap. And the watch with strap is like 12 grand. Like, I mean, I get it. I mean, only 10 pieces, but wow, that's really expensive. Um, so I don't know. I don't know where they're getting the price point here. Maybe there's enough people with a lot of money out there who are a big fan of this, the CoverGirl, Zenith CoverGirl, and they're willing to spend this kind of piece. Maybe, Waco has a following of 10 people. 10 people. 10 people. Oh, man, I gotta be careful, man. I don't want to get beat up in a Lufthansa, um, one of those like lounges at the airport, you know, uh, with Waco. You gotta be careful with them. Hey Thomas, good to see you. Why does Zenith insist on that date window? Um, let's zoom in. That doesn't really bother me so much. That doesn't bother me. I mean, yeah, maybe would it look better without the date window? Perhaps, yeah, probably. I mean, at least what they could. I mean, they could have like had the black disc, right, and a white number. You know what I mean? At least, right? I mean, that's the least they could have done. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. He's got the 830 384. That's right, the 384, which I bought in excellent condition. I like the cover arts, but the pricing. Yeah, Thomas. I'd rather have yours than this for sure. I like your. I love that. If I'm going El Primero again, I've had an El Primero in the past, but if I'm getting an El Primero again, I'm getting that same one that you had because I just love that watch. I just love that watch. Hey, KR Joy, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. But again, look, I mean, it's just a crazy price point. Like, I mean, I just don't know where. Look, they'll probably sell it, right? It's 10. It's 10 with the bracelet. 10 pieces. They probably will sell it. But that is bananas. That is bananas. And if you get bored of it, I mean, you better be happy with this watch because I don't think you're gonna lose money on it if you sell it. Anyway, that's just me. Um, okay, let's move along. There's a fun piece that also was released today, and that is this Rado Diastar original collab with Tej Chauhan special. I don't know. Anyway, I like this. I think it's actually. I mean, I'll never buy it, but I just like this, the look of it. I think it's fun. Seen this watch before. Actually, I gave away this watch in the channel. I'm pretty sure I gave away this watch or something very, very similar by Rado. Um, but wow, this is like crazy. Like even look at that. Look at that strap. It's like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here in the States. If you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, or Michelin Man. Yeah. I like it. I mean, and it's not crazy. Like the dimensions are like with some of these watches like that come out that have this like shape. It almost looks like they'll be unwearable, right, because of the size. But this is actually size wise, specs wise, it comes in pretty good. I like what I see here: 38 millimeter by 45, 11.7 thick. Powermatic 80. 2150 Swiss francs. I mean, pricey, but whatever. I mean, for a movement that if something happens, they don't repair this movement, right? They just chuck in it and put in a new one in there. But I don't know. I may be the only one. I may be the only one here who likes that. So yeah, I know. Hey Maison. Oh, didn't mean to surprise you, but yeah, I'm trying to think I'm gonna do this weekend review kind of stuff on Friday nights. Although next Friday, it's Thanksgiving. I was gonna say it's Valentine's Day here in the United States. So gonna have a special night with Mrs. Leg. So no Friday night, but after that, for sure, I'm gonna try to keep it up and see if there's any interest in that. And other news, hello. Wearing your Moser Heritage Funky Blue Fume. Very, very nice. Um, okay. Moving on. Let's see here. Okay. And look, hey, one of Wolfgang's, he's not on the chat right now because he's asleep, but hopefully he'll get to watch this in the morning. One of his favorite brands, Federico Sant. He really likes Federico Sant. And they've come out with this like tourbillon that really is giving me Moser vibes, right? Pioneer vibes. I'm getting some vibes out of that. Yeah, that Sunray style brushed green dial. It just like I said, it reminds me of Pioneer. You got this nice onion crown here. I like what I'm seeing here. I mean, again, I'll probably never own a Frederico Constant, but it's nice to see that they do stuff like that. They've been doing some interesting things. This is it's one of the most complex brands out there, meaning that you have some of these pieces that they have. They go from like the really low end in the catalog price point wise, and they put out pieces from a couple $100, or at least they used to, and now you got timepieces up to the 9-10,000 with in-house movements, just really interesting stuff. And this tourbillon, right, is not. I mean, it's let's look at the price point here. Um, it's 15. It's 14,500 euro for a tourbillon. Sure, it's not precious metal. That's okay. 39 millimeter case hammer, 11 millimeter case thickness. Wow. Stainless steel polish, scratch resistant, and anti-reflective Covex sapphire. Like if you didn't want to like spend the money of a new car on a tourbillon watch, I mean, this is just a fun option, right? Palm green color, sunray brushed finish. It's got that FC 980 caliber, 4 caliber in-house automatic tourbillon with a 38-hour power reserve, which is interesting. Um, Limited to 150 pieces. It's limited for 14.5 for a tourbillon. Yeah, get it. Um, it's not a brand that you would associate with something this kind of innovation. It's not a precious metal timepiece. But for a sporty looking type watch with a tourbillon, I mean, man, I don't think you could do much worse. Um, yeah, don't mind this. Yeah, I don't mind it either. Corrado saying at a glance it looks like a VC. Okay, okay, I get Moser, but sure. Um, so really, really, one of the highlights of the week for me was this. Um, hopefully it sells well. I think it should. Why not? I mean, if you can get over the fact that it's a Frederic Croissant, right, and it's not like one of these hoity-toity luxury watch brands, man. I mean, under 15 for a tourbillon. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Okay. Moving next to Rolex releasing a Seamaster, which another highlight for me this week was this 37 millimeter Milano Cortina, the Road to 2026 Winter Olympics. I love this watch. I mean, you could definitely get the vintage vibes of the older Seamasters here. At least I get it. And it's just like a beautiful, beautiful dress watch. Look, I mean, like the case back, we'll get to the case back here. Um, it's branded for the Olympics. Okay. Yeah. I mean, not my favorite. I'm not big into this kind of branding. I don't need like a memento of the Olympics here, but I mean, it is a full gold case back, right? So it kind of like adds to the price of it, right? Um, but and I don't need to see like the movement of every watch either. If they had come out with this watch, right, with just like a nice little flat case back that was gold, that would have been great too. I hope they do that. Um, but it's a classy, good looking watch. I really like it a lot. Um, I believe that's an enamel dial. I'm trying to remember because I did it, and it's not like crazy price. I mean, it's 21,000 euro, but that's with the VAT, right? 16.9 for the um, Swiss francs, excluding that. And, you know, you can get some gold watches, right, for less than this, for sure, right? Um, but I don't know. I like it. I really do. 37 millimeter case diameter, 11.55 thickness, 45 lug to lug. So gonna really fit a lot of wrists. You got this 18 karat gold, moonshine gold. Their type of gold that they make here, right? Um, oh, well, that's what they call it. 18 karat gold, central hours, minutes, and seconds hand. Um, the dial is a Grand Fu enamel dial. Ah, man, I just love it. Omega caliber 8807 in-house movement, master chronometer, 55 hour, 18 karat Sedna gold rotor. I mean, we're not going to see the rotor anyway, which is, it's kind of funny. Wouldn't that be nice if you could pop up like a different case back on there? So the little exhibition case back, so you could see that gold rotor, right? Wouldn't that be interesting if you could do that? Brown leather strap, etc. Special non-limited edition for the 2026 Olympics. Let's see here. Let me get back to the chat. Haven't owned. Okay, so Von Krul said hasn't owned an FC, but you know is keen on it. Nice but expensive. I presume you, Calvary, you're talking about the Omega. My Rolex dealer is closing. Owner retiring. To keep the Rolex AD under new ownership, they'll have to sell to a family member. Oh, that's interesting. Hmm. We're going to talk a little bit Rolex at the end of this because Federico put out a video a day or two talking about that. We're talking about Rolex. Cool lugs. I agree. Um, okay. So yeah, like the watch. Could you get a more affordable, dressy gold watch for sure? But I like what I'm seeing here. Okay, moving on. The new green Creedor. A lot of green watches, huh? This week. Locomotive GCCR 997 to join the permanent collection. Okay, so look, you know, we know if you're not aware, but I'm sure you are, Creedor being the ultra high end in the Seiko lineup, right? So you have Seiko watches and you have Grand Seiko. This is all under the Seiko umbrella, and Creedor being the top. And there's some beautiful Creedor watches out there. I'm not a really big, crazy fan of this one. Genta inspired, I think they called it, and I think it's because the bracelet, right? It just feels like it's a little. The case is. It feels like the case is too small for the bracelet, right? And it's not like this is like a big watch, right? Anyway, so could they have gotten bigger with the case? I don't know. I'm not an expert on Creedor, so I know that this style has been it's a trademark. I mean, this watch, design wise for them, but I'm sure it's great, but just not a big fan. 38.8 millimeter case diameter, just under 9 thick. It is a titanium hexagonal case watch. Bracelet is also titanium. Caliber movement, right? It's in-house Creedor based on the SL35, which is nuts, right? I mean, this is the SL35 is notoriously uh, a, a movement that has a bad rep, right? A lot of issues with that movement regarding time. I mean, I know Seiko watches, they keep better time when you have it on wrist. But anybody who I know who's had some experience with the SL35 has something to complain about. Not everybody, I'm sure, just people out there who are just fine with it, but people that I've known that have had this a watch with this movement, I've always complained about the movement. 40-hour, 5 power reserve. Like, I mean, they probably should have kept this off the press release. I don't know. That's just my opinion. They probably should have kept that off the press release. That is based on this 6L35. Maybe they're just being, full disclosure. 100-meter water resistant. It's not limited. It's going to be out until like May. May is coming out in May. Um, let's see here. I dig the ugly creator, says James. I still prefer the black butthole dolly. Hey, Pale Horse, good to see you, buddy. Watch by committee using all popular design watches. Um, what is the hype dial color now? I think that was green. Gerald Genta did design the original quartz locomotive, I think. Okay. I th- they refer to it as a Genta style. Somewhere here. Yeah, Gerald Genta's original sketch. Okay. Genta inspired elegant sports watch. So, um, I'll take your word for it that he designed the quartz and version of this watch for sure. Yeah. Um, I really don't get the Thomas is saying is he doesn't really get the locomotive. It looks like a part spin watch and a mismatch. Yeah, I could see where you I could see where you could see that, Thomas. Um, that looks like one of those that'll probably look better IRL. Yeah. I don't know if I love that creator or just love how much people hate it. Also, the 6R architecture is very different than the 6R. Yeah, the 6R. I love the 6R. I love the 6R actually. My one of my beloved SA Masar 033 was an SR movement. I had a couple watches of that SR movement. Love that movement. The SL is what I've heard people complain about. K-shape gives you jewelry feel. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Ken, checking in for Pittsburgh. How are you? Guys, I know I owe some people here some stuff. I've just been waiting for Amazon to deliver some stuff to the house so I can get boxes so I can reuse them. So I think I have all that I need to send some stuff out by next week. So thank you for your patience. Speaking of Seiko, we got the new enamel SB 495 adding to the Presage Craftsman series. Classic among classics, Roman numerals with a lemon enamel dial, paying tribute to the brand's first section. I think this is a good looking watch, good looking piece. Yeah, I think it's a little thick, right? I mean, it's a big. I get like a dressy vibe to this one, but it's big for a dressy watch, right? I mean, uh, sort of. I mean, I know it's modern, dressy, fine, but uh, 40 just over 40 case diameter, 12.1 case thickness. Would have loved to see this a little thinner. 48 millimeter lug to lug, stainless steel, white enamel, right? With the Mitsuru Yokosawa and his team printed back Roman numerals made by, okay. 6R5H in-house movement. It's a little pricey, right? I mean, it's like 1,500 euro. I mean, I know these go for that or just, in the low 1,000, but I like the way it looks. I think it's classy. I think it's a classy timepiece. Yeah. They don't want to give us a case back shot. Is it blued steel hands, which is nice. Yeah. Okay. 100-meter water resistant. I like it. I like it. Thank you, sir. uh, okay. And oops, no, cancel that. I don't want to leave there. Okay, let's look at the Grand Seiko Evolution 9 Mount Iwate Ice Blue, based on the much like white birched, right? And this is getting a sunny ice blue mountain-like texture. Did I already go over this? I feel like I've already gone over this on a stream. Maybe not. Anyway, um, yeah, Mount Iwate blue version, textured dial. Good looking pieces, man. I really like Grand Seiko a lot. Ugh, I do. I do. I want one. I want one day. So many other watches I want though first, but I'm gonna get one of these. Limited to not this one in particular. Limited to 1,200 pieces, available from May 2025. This has got the high beat movement. I wonder if they'll do a spring drive movement version of this. Yeah, I mean, I think probably because like my hope is that they don't. I feel like the way the pattern, kind of like goes out like a ray, right? That might clash with a spring drive, unless they, do the spring drive in the back. Um, James says, "Okay, you convinced me. I'm going to put on one of my favorite brands." All right, still honeymooning with the Longees. GS does beautiful dials. Some iconic cases. 44 GS, is it? And small. Well, I mean the 44. I don't think this is a 44 GS. Is a 44 GS. Where is Dib when you need him? I don't think it's a 44 GS case. Is it? It's an Evo. It's a different case. Anyway, the 44 GS is beautiful. Um, high polished case, that 44 GS. The case is 40. Of course, you got the ever brilliant steel with the Sriracha polished and brushed, the black sapphire crystal, the Mountain Wade textured ice blue dial, and the high beat, right? Yeah, 11,500 euro. Certainly not cheap. Um, oh, okay. Sorry, Michael. You got it. Um, hey, let's talk about real quick. Let me switch up screens here, and we got our our boy Federico, and he does, every week or so he does the Q&A um, videos, and someone had asked about Rolex and paraphrasing, like, how did they see the market, and he had said that the wait times, right, are not what they used to be for new Rolex, unless you're going for a steel Daytona, yeah. But he says, like, depending on the dealer, right? Of course, I mean, he puts that caveat on there. You can get a watch in a couple months, right? He's like, you can get a Datejust in about a month, and he's saying that pricing, um, it's just it's not a it's not like it's tank. It's just a correction, right? I mean, it's going back to around pre-COVID time, right? So we kind of all suspected that, right? We know the market was just crazy during COVID or quarantine, and now things are probably just going back to normal. But he's saying that pricing on the secondary for some pre-owned is going down. Um, so yeah, I like his videos. I like his videos too. Thomas. I mean, we know him. Of course, he's a dealer, but he's also. I feel like he's got a good understanding of where things are, and you can tell by his online shop, like, where his price point is on a lot of things. I mean, they're not all going to get the prices right. So if you go on his website, you might see a watch there that you scratch your head, like, wow, he's asking for a lot. But most of the time, his price point is pretty good. He's got good prices, um, for used pieces, and he always. And what I like about Federico and his shop is that, like, you can find some watches that you may not see in other online shops, right? I mean, most of these shops they're trying to sell the watches that they want to sell quickly, right? And I'm sure Federico doesn't want to necessarily sit on product for or inventory for a really long time, but he'll have some watches there that you won't see necessarily in other places, And I think he just, like, he can hammer out and get, like, really good. Like, he makes all his money on the buy side, right? So, like, he can definitely, like, hammer on some prices, especially some of those brands that are not, like, typical money makers, per se, for some of these secondary shops. So he can hammer out the prices, and then, like, offer those in his shop for seemingly a good price, and probably is, if you're buying it, but he still makes money off of it, right? Um, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if some Rolex dealers are hanging on pieces and they're still trying to feign scarcity, like diamonds. Like, yeah, probably, man. if you want to move inventory a wee bit under market price, goes a long way. Yeah, and most of the time he gets it. I think most of the time he gets it right, Ron Kroll, with the prices. I mean, every once in a while you see a watch, you're like, whoa, that's just crazy. He's asking way too much, but he's quick to like put that stuff on sale. You know. In fact, let's take a look. I like Federico because he'll he sells a lot of GP, and I like that. I like GP. Um, wow, look at this! Look at this! Like Longa one for 20 grand. That seems to be a good price. Very good condition. No box or papers. But you could probably try to negotiate him down on that one. I mean, I think that's a good price. I think that's a really good price, right? Um, let's take a look at some of the other pieces here. Like he'll get like some outlying Silversteins here. You know what I mean? Like Alexander Sokolov. You know, and then get some like like vintagey Audemars, right? Like some watches that you don't really see that often. That's what I like about Federico shop. You know, let's see here, page two. New arrivals. Let me just go back to new arrivals right here. Um, he's got a Seiko safety. That's interesting. Like I really don't see that much Seiko in his. Bremont, Weiss. Wow, he's got a Polar Explorer for just over six. Probably could maybe get that low. Look at this Longferrier. He in this video he said he got this Longferrier unworn, um, lowest priced in the world. He said Hublot. So he's got like some nice pieces. He's got another Laurent Ferrier in here, another one here. Maybe it's one of these that he said was the lowest price in the world for that particular one. Um, but and then he's got these like rebellion. Like I don't know. I mean, like this is where sometimes you scratch your head. I mean, I don't know much about rebellion. Um, the 50 grand. Um, was this like an going out of business sale for rebellion? I mean, this was a tourbillon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Not for me. Um, he also gets a lot of Frank Mullers too. Oh, look at this hovering. Yeah. So I usually I like to check out his inventory like once a week because he's definitely got some interesting stuff. Um, yeah, some of these watches are not like the other, right? Uh, buys way low. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He certainly does. He makes his money on the buys. Absolutely. Well, guys, hey, listen, appreciate you guys joining me on your Friday night for this weekend review. See you on Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Tuesday. Not going to see you next Friday because it's Valentine's Day here in the States. Thank you, Thomas. What has been your favorite new release from your videos of this week? Probably this week. Um, I mean, I like that Omega, that Olympic watch. I mean, I can't believe it. Yeah, I mean, I like that Omega a lot. I like the Federico Santa Tourbillon, just because $15,000 Tourbillon. Good for Federico Sant, and the watch looks pretty good. Um, the Rado was a fun release. Yeah. So for that week, this week. What about yours, Thomas? What was your favorite? Um, where are they finding sweet deals like that? Dealer Magic, I guess. Yeah, I mean they're all like if you're talking about Federico, I mean he's got a whole network of dealers. I mean I'm sure he's like some of those guys are unloading some watches for him. And I think people probably try to sell their watches, right? They know they can try to sell that to Federico. They may not get the best price in the world, but he might be the only one interested in buying those things. You know. Anyway, well, again, thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. See you on Tuesday or Wednesday. Won't see you Friday, but I'm gonna try to keep this Friday thing going with a weekend review. Have a great night. Take care.